Her phone lit up between us. Not loudly, not urgently, just enough. We were sitting on the edge of the bed, her hair still damp, her smile soft, practiced, almost loving. She was telling me about her day, small things, harmless things. I nodded at the right moments. I was good at that. The screen vibrated again. She didn't look at it. That was the first crack. I watched her eyes instead, the way they flinched, the way her breath adjusted by half a second too late. Micro-movements people forget to control when they think they're safe. "You're quiet," she said. "I'm listening." Another vibration. Her hand moved this time, too fast. She flipped the phone face down, sliding it closer to her thigh like it needed protection. I felt something cold pass through me. Not pain, not anger, recognition. In that moment, my world didn't collapse, it sharpened. I realized I was standing in the middle of something that had been happening for a long time, long enough for her to get comfortable, long enough for me to become background noise. She smiled again, the same smile I used to trust. I smiled back and decided not to ask a single question, not yet. Denial is quiet. It doesn't scream. It whispers reasonable excuses in your own voice. I told myself I was imagining things. Stress does that. Love does that. You start hunting ghosts because you're afraid of losing what you have. But the signs didn't stop. They multiplied. Her sudden privacy, her phone never leaving her hand, the way her story started developing gaps, small edits, revised timelines. She still laughed with me, still touched my arm, still said my name like it meant something. That was the cruel part. The affection never disappeared, it just stopped being exclusive. At night, lying beside her, I replayed conversations in my head like footage from a crime scene. Every pause, every deflection, every time she answered a question I hadn't asked. I didn't confront her. Confrontation is for people who want reassurance. I wanted certainty. One evening she came home late, said traffic was bad, her voice steady, too steady. She kissed me and went straight to the shower. Her phone stayed on the counter, unlocked. I stood there for a long time, staring at it, my reflection warped in the black glass. I walked away, because the truth doesn't run, it waits for the right moment, and I was learning how to wait. I became observant, surgical. I memorized patterns, times, frequencies, who she texted and when she didn't. I noticed how certain names never appeared when I was nearby, how her mood lifted before she left the house and flattened when she returned. I pulled phone records, not illegally, methodically. Accounts shared make people careless. One number stood out, unlabeled, frequent, always late. I didn't call it, I followed it. Social media connections led to a profile with carefully curated silence, no pictures with her, no tags, no obvious overlap. A man who knew how to hide. That irritated me more than the betrayal itself. I watched her with him without ever seeing them together, the way she dressed differently on certain days, the way she rehearsed lies in the mirror, thinking I wasn't watching. At dinner, she asked me about my future plans. I almost laughed. Inside, something twisted, not violently, but tightly, like a knot being pulled with intention. I ordered a DNA test too, not because I needed it, because I wanted to see how far the lie extended. When the kit arrived, she didn't notice. She was too busy smiling at messages she thought I couldn't see. I mailed it myself. Every step felt calm, controlled. The storm stayed behind my ribs, waiting. Now I understand it perfectly. It was never meant for me, and that's the truth I walked away with, intact. The results came on a Tuesday. I was at work. I read them alone. Confirmed. Everything I suspected and more. The betrayal wasn't new. It wasn't accidental. It wasn't confused. It was deliberate. That evening, I set the table, cooked her favorite meal, lit nothing. Romance would have ruined the moment. She talked, I listened. When she finished eating, I slid an envelope across the table. "What's this?" she asked, smiling out of habit. "Open it." She did. Her face emptied, color drained, hands shook, breath fractured. She looked at me like she was seeing a stranger. I felt nothing. "How long?" I asked. Silence. "How long?" I repeated, softly. Her voice broke when she answered. The sound was ugly, human. I nodded, not in anger, in confirmation. I stood up first. I know about him, I said. I know about the lies, and I know when it started. She cried, apologized, explained, used words like mistake and confused and never meant to hurt you. I let her finish. Then I told her the part she didn't expect. I knew before you got good at it. Her head snapped up. I watched you build the lie. I watched you choose it, and I stayed. Fear replaced grief in her eyes. I needed to see who you really were when you thought you were winning. I picked up my coat. I won't expose you, I said. I won't scream. I won't beg. I paused at the door. You'll do that to yourself. And I left her with the truth, unprotected. Weeks passed. I felt lighter, not happier, clearer. Betrayal changes your internal architecture. It removes illusions you didn't know were load-bearing. She tried to contact me. Messages shifted from guilt to anger to silence. I never responded, because revenge isn't about destruction, it's about control. I kept mine. The last thing I remember is her smile, the one I used to believe in.